Hello, this is Priscilla Batzell. I'm in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Fluid Art Studio, and I've got a small dish that I'm going to put some house paint in. And then I'm going to float some Colour Arte Prizm pours, and if I had them, primary elements on top of that house paint. But I want a base of house paint so I can slide it right out onto the puddle of paint that I'm going to put in the center of my 12 by 16 inch canvas that's right over there. So let's start with sour lemon with a little bit of orange crush in it. And hope that I get to put everything down. I'm going to go for the colors I like together first. That's the jasmine, that's a primary element. It's having a hard time coming out because there's evidently something in it. A long something. Wow, that was really long. Alright, I don't want to completely fill up my dish. I'm going to use some Royal Sapphire. That's a Prizm Pour. I'm going to try and stop myself. That's why I put so much house paint in there. This is Deep Amethyst. A little bit of Saffron, Prizm Pour. Deep Amethyst was also Prizm Pour. I don't know how this is going to work. I haven't done exactly this before. I have some Frosted Berry, Prizm Pour. I have some Chantilly lace, which is not something I usually put on the top, but I'm looking forward to trying it out. I've never done this before, like I said. I did use a saucer the other day to do a swipe, and this will be a swipe also. This is a golden maple, a Bling it. Doesn't seem to want to come out very well. And last but not least, I have some Cupids Crush, another primary element. Which is an awesome color, and also has something wanting to come out of its tip. Now hopefully, maybe a little more right around here. I may wind up scraping this out, but we'll see what happens. Put that aside. Bring in my 12 by 12. Now I often put a ribbon of paint around the outside edge. So I have something that'll go to the outside edge before I put something down in the center. This is going to be a swipe, scoop, drag, and spin. I may go around and pull it back in toward the center again also. I like how heavy that paint feels. Like it will help everything flow. I don't usually do this a second time around. And I don't know how this is going to go. I really don't. I do want all of that paint off of there. Now, because I have enough paint in my saucer, I don't want to have any more excess than I can possibly manage. But I do want to be able to tip whatever I put in the center. But I need a big enough centralized puddle so that I can spread the paint in my dish over it. That is my theory. It's looking like it needs a stir. Cross your fingers that this works. I see we've got a little uncovered area, but this is meant if I have any extra that I don't swipe over, the colors will still be cool. Let's just let that go right off the edge. And I will take whatever I can get. Because everything I experiment with is something new I learn about. And I don't really need to have any extra paint hanging around in that saucer. So I'm going to throw both of those things into the bucket. Now I have a swipe tool. I'm not sure I want one that big though. I think I have a better idea. I'm going to use some older Australian Floetrol and the dregs of my gold, which was Pebeo Iridescent Gold, and make sure I have no paint chips on this. Looks like I have a couple. Hopefully they'll won't be a problem. I'm going to go easy on the black. Not sure where to start. And I'm going to throw that in the bucket too. Got some good cells coming up. It might have been a little risky using older cell activator, but I think it's going to be okay. I think I'm going to take my straw. Just to hurry up a few things. I'm really tempted to grab a small acetate tool, but I think I'm going to resist because I like the idea of trying to play with what I've got, including these stripes. If I slow down as I release my paint, I'll get more off my palette knife. Oh, there's some cells breaking out of that. That's nice. I'd like to get that saffron off my palette knife that I can see there. Sometimes you have to pull up on the palette knife to break the seal. I really want that off of there. Can I help myself? How can I help myself? I've got a Princeton Art Catalyst spatula. So I kind of like what I've got going on here. I might put a few spirals in. I don't have as many cells as I've often had, but the cells I do have are pretty magnificent. I want to be gentle with them so I don't break them up. I don't mind pushing paint, dragging the palette knife backwards. Seems to work for me fairly well. I think I wish I'd used more saffron, but I'm sure it's going to be okay. Alright, I'm getting close to the place where I think I might be ready. I like the abstractness of the design. I do have quite a bit of paint still puddled up. I do like to add random marks. They create a lot more interest. Anything on the outside edge that's too close is probably going to get spun off. It's hard because if you make a composition you like, you know you can't keep it. And it looks kind of funky, which might bode well actually. I like crossing over my lines because they seem to, it seems like they'll add dimension. Let's grab some of this before it's too late. Oh yeah, there was some nice saffron hiding in there. I'm not sure if my paint is thick enough to go all the way to the edge, but we'll find out in a minute. And I'm going to try and convince myself to leave some negative space. I want what's on my palette knife to come off to a degree, so I'm going to try and slow my roll. Put that palette knife right into the bucket. Move my paint pan. Grab my barrier. I think it's not too late to add a few spirals, because even little ones turn out to be kind of cool. I got a little pink butterfly right there by accident. I got something in my paint that needs to go away. Okay, so there's a few spirals. A couple little pulls and things. If I leave any really large areas, that's when they take over. I know I'm kind of going to town on the spirals, but and that's where the paint is heavy. I'm liking this, just like it is actually. I should take a picture. Alright, it's time. I'm going to spin. And spin some more. That's pretty cool. I never did tip. I never remember to tip. I should always remember to tip. Tipping would be good. Alright. I'm liking my color choices. They don't look conventional. I would like the paint from the center to extend out far enough to go past the edges, but if there's paint on my silicone mat that the painting is resting on, I can pick it up, especially with one of my little acetate tools, and reapply it to the edges, which I might wind up doing. That's pretty cool. I don't mind that at all. It did what I said it was going to do though, and it didn't go all the way to the edges. So more paint around the edges next time. And definitely use my Princeton Artil Catalyst spatula to pick up whatever I can and use it on my edges. I like what I've got. I really kind of want to tip that a little bit. So I'm going to try that. And it's moving a little bit. going to use whatever I scrape off the edge on the edge of the canvas. And let that down. Not using my fingers. I don't need to get painty. Alright, I'm not going to waste any of your time, with the possible exception of looking for a couple of bubbles. Like that one. And I don't see any of the others. But if I go sideways, I can sometimes see lumps. Like that. Alright, I gotta tell you, I have 30 playlists with 100 videos on them each. I really like this. And if you give me a thumbs up, it makes me happy, so thank you. I just turned my phone off instead of turning it on. You can assume that any spaces on my edges will be covered, but I don't care. I know that that is spun out enough, and I like the patterns and the colors enough. And I'm going to shimmer that at you right now if I can. Oh, that Bling It Golden Maple is the most awesome, shimmery, sparkly little... And I'm liking my stripes. They got left behind from the pour. And there's nothing wrong with that. I might blow some of this white paint over the edge. Alright, I love you guys. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. I think I like it better this way than any other way. And I could even spin that out one more time. Although I do like what I've got. Enough to want to keep it. I use GAC 800 by Golden in all of my paint mixtures. And that seems to help keep things from cracking. So that's a good thing. I post 7 days a week again. My email address is easpb and the word gallery spelled out at gmail.com. Whatever I haven't told you, you'll see in another video. Check underneath the link tree. Check near the link tree for the Amazon. Link is on the link tree. Yeah, get it straight, Priscilla. There's a 20% off Colourarte coupon code and a link. And there's a 10% off Pixel Paint Designs coupon code and a link. And I have 2 books on the Amazon link that are on the link tree, along with Pixels.com, Fine Art America, and a whole lot of other stuff, including my websites. My paint pouring recipe is underneath Show More. If you have questions, please feel free to ask. You can ask on the community board, or you can ask under the video. They are welcome and encouraged. Thank you guys for the donations through PayPal that keep me going. And thank you for the memberships that are enjoying over 150 videos. And I love you guys. You inspire the heck out of me. I do sell my artwork, so please inquire if you'd like to. And I give lessons at the house in Spring Hill, Florida. And whatever I've forgotten, you'll see in another video. The clothing under the video is spring, and there are all over prints there. And if you want to see any of my artwork transposed onto anything, I can do that. Just ask. Alright, I love you guys. I'll see you anon. Bye for now. Priscilla out.